Okay, we're back. Season 2, episode 12. Today, we're going to bring on second class Daniel Williams, aka Lakeside, from Lake Highland Prep down in Florida. Maybe he'll actually explain to me why why he got that nickname tonight, but maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, coming off a pretty electric weekend for him and for the team, did really good against Bloom. Saw a lot of different faces on the mat this weekend at Bloom. Ended up beating Bloomsburg 31-10 in Bloom. You know, we saw some appearances from different guys. The team looked good. I think that's just a testament to the depth of the program and the team this year. And then it also, one of the things that I think we've all noticed this year also is we've sent more guys to different competitions. The team's getting more matches. You know, at some point, I think it was around Christmas break, there was a stat that came out that Navy had the third most Division I matches across all programs. And I wouldn't be surprised if we were 1 or 2 at this point, just based on the way that we've been competing and continue to send guys to different tournaments throughout the year. So a lot of depth, looked great against Bloom. And then as a team, we went to American the following day and just, almost shut them out 34-3. So winning 9 out of the 10 matches. Looked really good, especially compared to, you look at the American duel last year where we didn't look our best necessarily. We still won, but then responding this year with really a not much different team compared to last year, just completely blowing them out of the water, only losing 1. And that was a tough match. So wanted to bring on Daniel Williams this weekend, tonight to talk. One, because he's back in the lineup. He's kind of had a weird year, and he looked really good this weekend. He went 16-0 versus Bloom. 16-0 against Bloom. Tech Fall, and then avenged a loss against Caleb Campos, who was 22nd in the country at the time, against American the following day. So yeah, wanted to get Daniel on and have a chat. So welcome to the show, Lakeside.
Thanks for having me.
What's up, buddy? So yeah, pretty great weekend for you. I mean, as a guy who hasn't been competing much this year, you wrestled at the Classic, which was the first weekend of the season this year, all the way to now, end of January, and maybe the best wrestling you've had, since last year that I can remember. So, how did it feel to be back on the mat and competing?
Feels really good to be back because, kind of why I'm here. So, yeah, it was tough being out for those months, and then especially just watching the team compete and practice while you're on the sideline is can't really do anything. So, but glad to be back, and it's exciting.
Yeah. How did you feel? Did you feel like the conditioning impacted at all? I mean, I know you're obviously working out off the mat to try and stay in shape as best you can. Maybe talk a little bit about, we don't need to talk about the injury and stuff, but what did you do to stay competitive, I guess, when you weren't able to train the way that you wanted to? You're obviously able to make adjustments and figure out wrestling different ways to win, but what specifically were you doing to stay competitive?
Usually Barry would give me a workout. So he started giving me workouts right after I got injured, and could go on a bike. And then those were pretty tough. So, each day I would just go to Barry for another one of those tough workouts. And then if somebody else was out for that practice, I would just get them to do it with me. It's sort of like a competition. So it's just a way to just keep going and then not sitting around, and also have a little competitive edge. So
yeah. That's awesome. I mean, it was clear like you were almost like trying to send a message this weekend. You know, teching the dude at Bloom 16-0, and then going right back the next day against a familiar opponent that, you know, has had some success like nationally. You know, Campos is a qualifier. Like he was down at 74 last year. He was ranked 22 in the country over the weekend until you beat him. You know, like in a match that you lost to him earlier this year, like at the Classic. So I don't know, like, were you thinking about that going into it, or maybe talk a little bit about that?
I mean, yeah, it does linger in the back of your mind, but I mean, to me, it just kind of just helps me. It's just like, okay, during a Classic, this is what I didn't do, or this is what I couldn't do. It's like during a Classic, he rode me out for like 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So like
yeah,
this match, it's like, now I need to get out quick, because if I'm not getting out quick, he's going to stack up some riding time. So just knowing that, and then knowing, oh, in the Classic, how did he take me down first? I shot straight in, and he's pretty quick, so I know that. So I just got to be aware of that. So just wrestling smarter, so it just really helps. And staying composed and just knowing I'm good too.
So you weren't thinking about hitting that lat drop across the entire mat beforehand, is what you're saying?
No, it kind of just came there, and I was just like, I just hit it because I don't know. I just felt like I was going to get it.
Yeah.
I just felt like I didn't have any worries about it. I just felt like I was just going to get it.
Yeah, it was definitely there. No, that was tight. Great match, like great way to win. It's a lot of energy. It was fun. I miss watching you compete, and then, you know, this weekend was just a great reminder of why. You know, it was cool. It was cool to see the way, you know, you kind of brought an attitude to it, and yeah, maybe I meant to ask you this too. I kind of skipped over it, but like the teams looked pretty good the last couple weeks. Has that like not motivated you, but like made you want to get back out there even sooner? Like, do you even notice that stuff? Or like, you know, when you go to Bloom and you guys almost shut them out there, and then you go to American and you had, you're 8, so 7 other guys in front of you wrestle really good. Has that inspired you to like hustle back to get into the lineup, or are you even thinking about that stuff?
No, it most definitely does. It's especially when the guys are wrestling well. It's like, oh, I want to go out there and compete too and wrestle well. I mean, it sucks, especially back in November and December. It's like, you guys are wrestling well, but I'm just sitting on the sideline. So
yeah, you weren't just sitting on the sidelines though. Like, yeah. You know, I can say from personal experience, like just from where I was sitting, you know, over the last couple of months, like, you haven't just been sitting there, you know, like I've seen the work that you've been putting in to get where you are, to get back to where you are, you know, and I know that's been difficult, but it's also been very admirable to see. You know, I think the best word that comes to mind is like your stoic attitude about it. You know, like you were just Lakeside. You were the same guy that you would have been if you were, you know, healthy and back, you know, in the lineup. And that I think is very admirable as far as like your attitude and your approach to each day, because I certainly would have a harder time staying as poised as you had been over the last, you know, 2 months, just itching to get back into it. So, you know, this is me, you know, telling everybody that you've been working your ass off, but also just hey, you know, good on you for like being a great team guy, you know, and not letting that like having a negative attitude and bringing people down in the locker room and stuff. Like you've been you know, and that's awesome. And I almost feel like I'm probably going to do a poor job of explaining this. You know, the season's pretty grueling and taxing, being on the mat, you know, every day. for 4 or 5 months, competing, cutting weight, like that adds up. All that stacks up and adds up to wear on your body and stuff. Despite the injury, take the injury away, you've got to be feeling pretty strong and pretty healthy. Having only wrestled 5 or 6 matches this year and only practiced, maybe a quarter as much time on the mat as everybody else. I don't know if you thought about that at all? Like you look strong this weekend. Like, do you think that had any factor of it? Like you're coming in pretty fresh.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was over the time I was injured, it was getting stronger. It's kind of what I was just working on. And then I realized when I came back, I mean, a little bit bigger, but I mean, still didn't have any problems. But I mean, when I was going out there, I was just like, hey, now I'm bigger and stronger. I'm just thinking like I'm one of the biggest 184s out here. So
did it feel different than maybe earlier in the year or last year? Like you actually feel better, or is that just a kind of psychological thing you're telling yourself?
I mean, I feel like it goes both ways. It's like it's psychological, and then you go out there and turn it into reality because you just keep telling yourself that, reminding yourself.
Sure. I just think, you may not have as many bumps and bruises as, a guy who's got, Lay's got over 30 matches right now,
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you've absorbed less of the the daily grind. You're still busting your ass, but you haven't made weight as many times, and that's obviously taxing and stuff. So, I mean, no, hats off, dude. I think like the way you wrestled last weekend was awesome. Probably the best I've ever seen you wrestled. And then just to come back and avenge that loss to Campos like in a pretty explosive fashion was pretty impressive. How has this year been, different than the previous 2 years for you? Like, and I don't just mean as part of the team, but like, maybe in Bancroft and on the mat. So both on and off the mat. Like, how is second class year different from the first two?
I mean, second class year kind of just have more freedom, but comes like more responsibilities, especially because I also have another wrestler in my company as a plebe. So it's just making sure he's good, making sure he's everywhere he needs to be. And if he has questions about anything, I know, and then I'm on top of that, just helping him out. So it's just that responsibility, but there's more freedom. And it's also inside the locker room is more a leadership role, just like leading by example, always just doing the best I can, working the hardest I can, trying to be the best in the room. So just leading by example, then helping all the underclassmen outside of the room who need help within Bancroft.
So you've actually felt that shift between being an underclassman to an upperclassman, and you've taken on that role.
Yes.
Who's the plebe in your company?
Leo Joseph.
Okay.
Yeah. So
awesome. How would you say like the team culture is compared to last year from your perspective? Like not just locker room stuff, but like practices. Are the practices different? Like what's the vibe compared to last year?
I mean, I don't really think the practices are too much different. I mean, the ones I've been in, even though I've been like off for most of it, but I don't think the practices are too much different. And then, I mean, for the culture, I think kind of each year we're getting better because now as the upper class of we're seeing like what we didn't do in the previous years and then how we can make it better. Maybe just doing more team stuff and just inviting more underclassmen out to have like team dinners or something, especially during the breaks when we're here. So I think our team culture just improving especially as like the as we get older and more mature and take on a leadership role.
One thing I was actually talking to Davis about the other day, you have the fortunate like privilege of like seeing that like your class is really tight. The second class on the team, the Naps kids, I mean, you're not a Naps guy, but your whole class has, how many are there? There's like 11 or 12 of you guys that are still on the team.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, and that's rare for all of you guys to have stayed since, you know, your plebe year. And a lot of you guys are in the lineup. I think that is pretty rare, at least from my experience. Like by the time you hit second class first year, you get more responsibility in Bancroft. You also get more privileges, and that's very tempting and easy for people to be like, "Hey, I'm going to focus on, you know, what I'm going to do for the next 5 years after I get out of here, or I'm going to focus on, you know, my friends in Bancroft, or I'm going to focus on getting good." It's easy. It's easier for people to steer away from wrestling, and your class has done a phenomenal job of like staying together. And I think I don't all you guys get along well. I don't know if there's like one dude that's like the glue, or I don't know, maybe you could share some of that, or if you have even noticed that.
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely noticed that. A lot of second class on the team. I mean, I feel like we just all go through the grind together, and we're all just trying to get our goals, whatever they might be. And I mean, you know, like I know about me and other people, we don't want to quit on each other, and we just want to get better and just keep working harder. So, I mean, I just feel like that's what's keeping us together.
Did you ever feel like there was like a Naps and non-Naps person divide, or like, you know, I can't tell the difference between like, you know, like Lay went to Naps, but you're tight with Lay. I mean, you guys were teammates in high school, I guess. You know, I can't even tell. You know, even Davis wasn't a Naps kid, but he's, you know, so is there like a dude that's like the glue for your class, or is it just like you said, everybody's just kind of rowing in the same direction, trying to chase the same type of goals and stuff?
I mean, I don't know if there's like one specific person who's the glue. Yeah, like you said, it's probably more us just going, all trying to chase our goals and just following that path. So,
well, can you at least recognize how rare that is?
Yeah.
Maybe you can't because it's what you're used to. But
well, yeah, I'm just looking at the 2025 class. It's just, and then with our first E class now, so it's.
I mean, you're gonna find that even more once you graduate too. When you're joining other organizations, other units and stuff, it's like just getting everybody to like, hey guys, this is the goal. This is what we're trying to do. Like, you know, that's sometimes the hardest part is like getting everybody rowing in the same direction. And as a class, you guys have done a pretty exceptional job of like, you know, being there for each other and being part of the process together, which is really cool to see. It's also going to suck to see you guys go. You know, we still got a year and a half, but like, I'm still thinking about that stuff. All right, a little shift here. Like, you're a quiet guy, humble guy. What do you love most about the Naval Academy? What's great about wrestling here?
About like wrestling at the Naval Academy, or just the Naval Academy in general? Okay. Just Naval Academy is just, I mean, how willing the people are to help you. So if you need help, or if you can ask anyone for help, so that's pretty, especially when you're in company, when you're dividing the companies, it's people are really willing to help you. So that's probably one of the best things about Naval Academy. And then wrestling at the academy is, I feel like our best thing is just like the brotherhood we share. Because I mean, there's not really, you don't really can't transfer here,
Yeah.
and it's not like people are like really transferring, and maybe a couple people leave, but it's mostly the same group of guys. And so it's that brotherhood is like we're sticking together all 4 years, and we know that we only have 4 years. We're not going to get like 5 or 6, like 2 extra years of eligibility. So we know that we have a certain amount of time, and we're just following that one goal, and we're all trying to just work into it. So I think that brotherhood, and then that shared understanding, that and shared goals is just what I love most about wrestling here.
Along that same kind of thread, like, were you getting recruited by anybody else? Like, what's your recruiting story, and like, how'd you end up coming here? Like, a lot of people that come here and especially wrestle here, like, never heard of it before they got that phone call, or unless their dad or like their coach went here. Like, not a lot of people know what this place is about. So maybe talk to us a little bit how you ended up here.
Yeah. Well, at first, I was on I was at Army on a visit, and then then Colette called me while I was in the hotel, and was like, "Oh yeah, we want you to come visit." I mean, yeah, I did the Army visit and stuff, and I was like, definitely not. I was like, definitely not. And then probably not going to do Navy. So then I went to Navy, and it was like, oh, this actually looks like a normal school. It's a nice campus. I like the coaches a lot, especially Blaze. When he talked to me, I mean, those were the coaches who seemed really the most interested in me, and ones who would actually develop me rather than all the other coaches that I talked to. So it was like, I mean, why not here? And the great, opportunities that come with the school. So why not? And all the other schools were just, didn't really pay him too much mind after I committed here.
So it was, you're at West Point, you get the call from Colette, you come visit here, and then you commit right after, or like, did you go on other visits, or who else was calling you?
I get calls from Stanford, Columbia, UNC, and like UNC. Yeah, I think I got like the Stanford one, like coming back from Navy on the flight, and then I remember I committed to Navy like a week after the visit, because Kolak gave me some time to make the decision. He gave me a week to make the decision. Then I took the full week, and then was like, yeah.
So did you end up going to Stanford?
No, I didn't visit. Pretty much all the other schools, it's like when they talked to me, it was pretty much after I committed, and I was just, I didn't really pay him too much attention. I didn't visit any other schools.
So did you have the intent to, like, did you want to like commission in high school, or like, did you even know that you had to when you visited Army or got the call from Navy, like that commissioning was part of the deal? Or yeah, I'm just curious, like, West Point, Stanford, us, Columbia, I feel like those are all pretty similar schools as far as like,
yeah,
academically and the type of person and type of kid that they're searching for. So was service on your mind in high school, or?
No, not at all.
No.
I didn't really think about it. It didn't really like click to me that that's what I had to do. But I mean, yeah, it didn't really click until like I actually got here, and then yeah, and then went through plebe summer and stuff, and it was like, what? But then I eventually bought into it, especially being around all my classmates. It's like, because sometimes you like, if you're doing push-ups and you look, you see someone's in front of you, and like, if they're doing it, like, there's no way I'm not doing it. It's like, I'm not quitting before them.
Yeah. So you pretty much commit here without even like thinking about service. So you're just like, hey, this. So what about Navy? That was it besides Coach Cavill, like, or was it really, just like your quick first impression of the coaching staff that was like, this is where I want to be.
Of course the coaching staff and the wrestling, but my mom played a big factor into it too. She
come up here with you?
She came up. She works in corporate America, and she talks about how well off the service academy people are. So, and how the great opportunities come with the academy. So it's just like, it's probably the best place I can be.
Yeah. You got to give your shout out to your mom, man. Of course.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. I like asking everybody that question. One, I've never really talked to you about that. But it also, I think, just gives me an idea of like where else you were. I had the privilege of knowing. I was the opposite of you. It was like I had family that had come here. Like I knew when I was 10 years old that I'm going to go wrestle at the Naval Academy. Like that's what I'm going to do. This was the only place I applied. Wasn't recruited. And just was lucky enough to get in and walk on and all that stuff. But I like asking people that question because, it's funny to see people from all walks of life and every corner of the country and end up here. And like you said, like we're all working towards the same type of thing. We all know we're going to serve, obviously in different branches and at different capacities, but how and why we came is interesting to me. So, last question here. You're flying through this because you're the opposite of a chatterbox, but what are you looking forward to over the most over the back half of this season? We've got Bucknell on Super Bowl Sunday, February 8th at home. Army about a week and a half later, February 20th in Alumni. And then EIWAs and Nationals, dude, that's like 4 events tops. And obviously that last one is you got to earn that one. So what are you looking forward to most over the next 8 weeks?
Probably looking forward to most is conference. Just doing good at that, so I can get to the NCAA championship. So that's probably what I'm looking forward to most. But mostly just taking one day at a time, one step at a time. Right now, just focusing on Bucknell. Just got to do the work there and focus on Army. And have to do the work there, take those guys down, and then conference. You gotta beat some tough guys there, and of course NCAA got to beat the best guys there. So just looking forward to looking forward prior to the rest of the season because I literally just got back last week, so just enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, it's gonna end quick.
It'll end quick. It all goes quick. 4 events tops. I know you'll make the most of it. That's just who you are. And you'll earn every opportunity you get in front of you. So, yeah, man, I'm pulling for it. It's gonna be fun to watch. But yeah, like I said, we got Bucknell February 8th. Army, February 20th. We got the social, 6 to 7:15. Coin flip and whistle start at 7:30 on the 20th. 2 weeks later, conference is at American this year, and then NCAA's in Cleveland, obviously. So it's gonna go quick. Next thing you know, we're in the summer, and then we're rolling into your first year, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yep. All right, man. Well, anything else you want to chit chat about? Probably not. You probably got school and stuff to get to, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit of stuff. I mean, been off for 2 days. I don't really have too much.
Yeah, quit slacking.
So,
Quit slacking. You got your. This is the last. You got off of school on Thursday to go to Bloom.
yeah.
Yeah. So the time you've had off of school, so Thursday to now, and then even
Well, I went to
tomorrow.
school Thursday. Yeah, I went to school Thursday.
Well, that's true. We did.
Yeah.
You were had off the back half of Thursday, but you ended up going because you're good person. I remember you telling me that. Like you guys, your MO started earlier in the day, but you ended up going to class. I feel like the time you've had, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 2-hour delay Wednesday. That's that's longer than y'all's like Christmas break.
Yeah, I need to get back, so you just don't forget everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. That's what the mechanical engineering will do, man. You can't.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate it. I learned a lot about you tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, I'll see you. Thank you.
Thanks, Daniel. Later.
All right, bye.